She wanted more than this village, and that feeling didn't come from anger or hate, but from a quiet restlessness that sat in her chest like a second heartbeat. The village was small, the kind of place where everyone knew your name, your parents, your grandparents, and what you were probably going to do with your life before you even figured it out yourself. The morning smelled like wood smoke and fresh bread. The nights hummed with crickets and the low chatter of neighbors sitting on porches. It was safe, predictable, and warm in its own way, but for her, it felt like wearing shoes 2 sizes too small. This animated short story captures that universal ache of wanting something bigger, something louder, something more alive, and it speaks to anyone who has ever stared down a road, a track, or a horizon and thought, there's got to be more than this. She grew up watching the trains roll through the edge of town, iron monsters breathing steam and promise, shaking the ground as they passed without ever really stopping for long. As a kid, she'd count the cars and imagine where they were headed, making up wild stories about cities that never slept, streets buzzing with energy, people chasing dreams instead of routines. While the village kids played the same games and followed the same paths, she was already drifting somewhere else in her mind, somewhere loud and bright and full of possibility. This animated short story leans hard into that dreamer energy, showing how imagination can be both a comfort and a curse when your heart doesn't fit the place you were born. Life in the village moved slow, almost stubbornly slow, like it refused to be rushed by anyone's ambitions. Days blended together, marked by chores, school, and the same conversations repeating on loop. People talked about weather, harvests, weddings, and who was leaving town, which was rare enough to become gossip. Everyone expected her to follow the same script: grow up, settle down, stay close. But inside she felt this pull, this itch to break the pattern, to write her own story instead of reading the one handed to her. That tension is the soul of She Wanted More Than This. Village, a story about pushing against expectations without turning your back on where you came from. The animated visuals amplify that feeling in a powerful way. Warm lantern lights glow against the cool blues of dusk, symbolizing comfort clashing with uncertainty. The village looks cozy and inviting, but also boxed in, like a picture frame that's too tight. Her expression says everything words don't have to, a mix of fear, excitement, sadness, and hope, all fighting for space on her face. That's what makes this animated short story hit different. It's not just about leaving, it's about the emotional weight of choosing yourself, even when it scares the hell out of you. She loved her family, her neighbors, the familiar rhythm of the place. Leaving wasn't about rejecting them, and that's a key part of the story. It was about realizing that love doesn't always mean staying put. Sometimes love means carrying the lessons and memories with you while you chase something unknown. In the USA, especially in small towns, that struggle is real and relatable. Folks grow up hearing that loyalty means staying close, but dreams don't always respect zip codes. This story taps into that cultural truth with honesty and heart. As the train waits, hissing softly like it's breathing with her, the moment stretches out. It's the pause before a big decision, the kind that can change everything. She thinks about the nights she lay awake imagining a different life, the times she felt out of place at village celebrations, smiling but feeling like an outsider in her own home. She thinks about failure too, because wanting more also means risking more. That fear is real, and the story doesn't sugarcoat it. It shows that chasing dreams isn't some shiny montage. It's messy, emotional, and full of doubt. What makes this animated short story so powerful is how it mirrors real-life ambition. In America, the idea of chasing dreams is baked into the culture, but the reality is often complicated. Not everyone who wants more knows exactly what more looks like. Sometimes it's just a feeling, a sense that staying would slowly dim your light. This story captures that vague but intense desire perfectly. She doesn't have a perfect plan, just a suitcase and a heart full of hope, and honestly, that's how most real journeys start. The village represents comfort, tradition, and security, while the train represents risk, growth, and the unknown. Neither is painted as evil or perfect. That balance is what gives the story depth. It doesn't say the village is bad. It says it's not enough for her. And that distinction matters. Too many stories turn small places into villains, but this one treats the village with respect, even love, while still acknowledging that not everyone is meant to stay. As she steps closer to the train, memories flood in. Running through fields as a kid, laughing with friends, listening to elders tell stories that stretched back generations. Those memories don't disappear just because she wants more. They become fuel. That's a subtle but important message. Your roots don't hold you back unless you let them. They can also be the reason you're strong enough to leave. This emotional layering is why She Wanted More Than This Village, animated short story, resonates with such a wide audience online. From an SEO perspective, the story hits on themes people actively search for: animated short story, inspirational animation, emotional storytelling, village life, chasing dreams, leaving home, ambition, and self-discovery. But beyond keywords, it connects on a human level. Viewers see themselves in her, whether they're teenagers dreaming of escape, adults reflecting on choices they made, or older folks wondering about the roads they didn't take. That universal appeal is gold in digital storytelling. The animation style adds to the magic. Soft lighting, expressive character design, and cinematic framing make the story feel intimate and grand at the same time. It's not flashy for the sake of it. Every visual choice supports the emotion. The train isn't just a machine, it's a symbol of movement and change. The suitcase isn't just luggage. It's everything she's willing to carry from her past into her future. Those visual metaphors are simple but effective, making the story easy to understand without heavy dialogue. As the train doors open, the moment feels heavy and light all at once. Heavy with everything she's leaving behind, light with everything she might become. That duality is something a lot of Americans feel when making big life choices. Whether it's leaving a hometown, switching careers, or starting over somewhere new, the story doesn't promise success or happiness. It promises possibility. And sometimes, that's enough. The ending doesn't tie everything up in a neat bow, and that's on purpose. Real life doesn't work like that. We don't get guarantees, just chances. She steps onto the train not knowing exactly what's ahead, but knowing she couldn't stay without betraying herself. That choice, imperfect and brave, is the heart of the story. It says that wanting more isn't selfish. It's human. In today's fast-paced world, where social media shows highlight reels of success, this animated short story feels refreshingly honest. It reminds viewers that every big dream starts with a small, scary step. It also reminds them that it's okay to outgrow places and expectations. Growth doesn't mean forgetting where you came from. It means honoring it by becoming who you're meant to. She Wanted More Than This Village isn't just an animated short story. It's a mirror. It reflects the quiet dreams people carry, the ones they don't always talk about out loud. It validates the feeling of being grateful and restless at the same time. And it does all that without preaching or lecturing, just by showing one girl, one train, and one choice. For viewers in the USA and beyond, the story hits home because it's rooted in real emotion. It uses simple storytelling to explore complex feelings, and that's why it sticks with you after the screen fades to black. You don't just watch it. You feel it. You think about your own village, literal or metaphorical, and ask yourself if you're where you want to be. The beauty of this story lies in its restraint. It trusts the audience to understand, to connect the dots, to bring their own experiences into the narrative. That trust pays off, creating a deeper bond between the story and the viewer. It's the kind of animated short that people share not just because it looks good, but because it means something. In the end, she wanted more than this village, and that simple sentence carries a whole world inside it. It's about courage, longing, love, and the terrifying freedom of choice. It's about stepping into the unknown with shaky hands and a steady heart. And maybe most of all, it's about giving yourself permission to want more, even when what you have is good. That's why this animated short story works so well as both entertainment and inspiration. It tells a quiet, powerful truth in a loud, busy world. It's okay to dream bigger, to leave, to grow. You don't have to have all the answers. Sometimes all you need is the courage to get on the train.